Howdy folks, and welcome to another Taste of Gameplay video. This time for the Tier 6 Japanese Premium Destroyer, the Shinonome. As always, these videos are designed to give you a sample of the gameplay of the ship, not to be an exhaustive analysis. I recommend the Wargaming Wiki or other content creators. So you may wonder why you are looking at the battle queue. That normally I edit out and cut these parts, but this battle is going to happen so quickly that if I cut out all these parts, I wouldn't really have enough time to tell you much of anything. Now, partially that's because this is going to be a short battle, a small battle, namely only 6 on 6, but I've had some of those battles last longer. The main reason this battle is going to be over quickly, at least for me, is because I am going to torp the enemy Fubuki. And so one reason why I kept this video is because I promised myself I would do these as one takes, but also I think there's some interesting things here about this video, and one of them is just a reminder to always launch speculative torpedoes if you think you can get a bead on or get in the mindset of the enemy destroyer. So I'm thinking to myself in this case that I might be facing the enemy Fubuki on my flank and that he might just dive the cap. Now, is it likely that he's going to dive the cap? No, but there's really no downside to launching the torps, especially in a ship like the Shinonome, which gets a torpedo reload of, I think, 64 seconds. So the Shinonome is not a particularly great destroyer. It's not bad. It's fine. It's a good example of a Japanese destroyer. It has extremely hard-hitting torpedoes, but they only go 8 kilometers. It goes pretty fast, but it doesn't turn all that well, and it's kind of big. It's very similar to the Fubuki. It gets one more gun turret, but the torpedoes only go 8 kilometers instead of 10 kilometers. I think the Shinonome came from a special, like, I forget what it was even called, campaign, I think, in World of Warships. Remember campaigns? They haven't had any of those in a long time. Anyway, yeah, so I basically waited until the torpedo range would cover the entire cap, and then I launched them. I'm also going to do that trick I've talked about before with using my guns, both because, I mean, you should use your guns, and the Fubuki doesn't have great guns, so it's not like he can really return fire. But also, the guns distract him. And there you go. And in a game as small as this 6 on 6, them just flat out losing that first destroyer is huge. That's just huge. I'm not saying they couldn't come back from that period, but it would be tough. So I'm playing a little conservatively now because, again, when I make these videos, I don't want to explode, and there is a chance that someone's waiting around the other corner. There's one DD that we haven't seen yet. But this Huang He, if that's how you pronounce that, is going to gently encourage me to move forward, and he's right, so I will. It's so powerful now that we basically own this flank because we can outflank the enemy team and get some cross shots, which is precisely what we're going to do. The other thing about these Japanese destroyers, and this is just a reminder as much to myself as it is to anyone else, is do use the guns. I mean, just because they're bad doesn't mean that you shouldn't use them. And even though they are overall bad, no question about it, they do kind of hit like a truck. Like, the alpha is pretty good. The reload is abysmal. I think the reload on the Shinonome is 9.5 seconds, which is just as glacial as it sounds. But why not, right? Why not use the guns? Like, from this position, I can use the guns, and he's not going to return fire. For one thing, his guns are turned the wrong way, and also he has very limited arcs on me. In fact, I could have been more aggressive there. There's no way he was going to return fire at all. I should have just kept moving forward and shooting. But I'm going to just circle around here and get a good angle on him. He is not paying attention to me. He's laser focused on that Hatsuharu. And again, Are these guns good? No, but the alpha damage is insane. They hit so hard. And that's my second kill in a 6-on-6 game. And it's the third kill for the team. So yeah, this game is essentially already over. So is the Shinonome a good ship? Um, it's not a great ship. It's an okay ship. It's a good ship for training. It's really neither better nor worse than the Fubuki. It's more a matter of preference. I think most people would probably prefer to have the 10-kilometer torpedoes on the Fubuki, but I could see someone really wanting these stronger guns and not minding the 10-kilometer torps. It's really just a matter of preference. But I don't see a lot of people driving the Shinonome. I don't think it's a very popular ship. It was kind of a pain in the butt to get, and there's really no reason to get it. And the Fubuki is really just as good. In fact, possibly better. These Japanese destroyer guns, destroyer guns, torpedo boat guns, they actually have pretty good pen. So you'll see I'm penning this battleship. They don't have very good range, they have abysmal reload, but they have pretty good pen and they have pretty good alpha damage, which can come in handy when you surprise people, especially destroyers. I've played a lot of games with the Japanese torpedo boat where there was a low health enemy destroyer that I got the drop on, and I just killed him with my first shot with the alpha damage. If you only need one shot, then it doesn't matter how long your reload is, right? Anyway, I realize this is not a terribly instructive game about everything about the Shinonome. Mostly these Japanese torpedo boats, you use the torpedoes to torpedo cruisers or battleships. But again, it's a reminder to all of us to just launch speculative torpedoes. I mean, the thing about the torps is they do an enormous amount of damage, so if you do hit a destroyer or a cruiser, I mean, you can easily dev strike them. Anyway, hope that game was instructive, and I will see you in the next one.